Thank you, Attorney Cynthia of Batch 1978. I know for sure you wanted to hear more about lawyering, so let us hear from another lawyer, but this time from Batch 1981. Here's Attorney Myla Matic.
Uh, Good day to all of you, students who are our audience for today's talk, to be able to give some insights, no, on what career to choose and how these careers would fit our students who decide to pursue college education. So, as a private law practitioner, um, I decided to give a few things or ideas on how the legal profession can be a tool or an option for our students to take into consideration. So first, of course, it is a confusing moment for students, no, to decide on how to choose the right career, because in choosing a career that is right, this will determine your future. However, you should always remember that in making a choice, you have to follow a roadmap, or you have to consider many things. Actually, it is not just taking, no, into consideration what your parents want or your friends or your same friends go through, especially if you will be going to the same school with your friends in high school, or you will just be influenced by social media on what to take. Always remember that a career is very important because it symbolizes also stability. Kung paano nyo spend yung life nyo na magiging worthy yon because of your chosen career. So first, we have to take into consideration the meaning of what a career is. For me, it can be defined in many ways actually. First, it can be defined as an occupation where it is undertaken for a very significant period of time in a person's life, and it also embodies opportunities for progress. So, when you say occupation, it could be something which requires prolonged training, which requires the implementation of ideas. It will also require the showing of your physical skills, and of course, it will also require academic excellence. Okay? So, in an occupation, you are going to hone your skills. You are going to determine and identify your interests so that you would be able to stand the demands of your career. Then a career is also a journey. It is a journey because you have to go through life, through learning, through work, and other aspects of life. It's not just about working and working all the time. It's also about learning things which you do not yet know when you are working. So you will be able to have those learnings while you work. And of course, the other aspects of your life, like a career can also determine your goals in life. It could also establish your personal, your emotional, your spiritual goals, your psychological or your social goals. And then it is also a path or a progress. Meaning, when it is a path, it is a road leading towards progress. No? So, you have to choose a career which would make you progressive and not just like a sitting duck in a company or an office. Okay. Then it could also be a passion in life, which means even if your career is not financially rewarding, but the success you gain in it can be measured of how a person fulfills his personal goals. Now, if a career, if you are more passionate in your career that you would consider your personal success rather than your financial success, then there are still ways, okay? There are still ways on how to compensate for the financial gains. As long as you are happy with your work, with your career, then you can go on for it. So, what do you consider the tips on how to choose a career? First, of course, be ready to have or to get some career assessment or aptitude tests. No? These are tests wherein they will determine the jobs which are suited to you, or these will determine the jobs that that suits your interests, your skills, and personality. So with the aptitude test, no, nade-determine mo kung ano yung pros and cons, no, ng iba't ibang professions. At sasabihin doon kung ano yung best suited for you. Then with that test, you are narrowing down your options or your choices on what career to take in college. Then, second is that you analyze your interests. You know? Make a note of your preferred choices of profession and determine what are the 3 most important qualities of you wherein you are required to excel. Then you analyze each profession one by one and see where you stand in terms of the criteria. This will make things easier in determination or in decision making. Then number 3 is you picture yourself in the role. No, when you have already determined the choices you have made, strike down what do not justify your skills and interests. Strike mo yung choices na hindi nagko-conform or that doesn't suit your skills and interests. And you pick the choice or you pick those choices which are left that are suited now to your skills and interests. And you picture yourself being in that choice or role. Like for example, if you want to be a doctor, you can picture yourself performing a surgery. But if you are an introvert, then you cannot be in an occupation that requires more of talking. You cannot be in a profession which is sales or marketing. Okay? So, for a lawyer, of course, you have to have some skills and interest in conversation, in communication, in analysis, in problem solving. Okay? Then, you weigh your options. The main criteria of determining what career to take is that first, your interest and skill. Why? Because if you're interested in that, then you will be able to determine if that choice is really suited to you and you will be successful in it. And then you also, of course, the last one is you should also take advice. No? Talk to experts. Like if you are choosing to be a lawyer, for example, then you talk to a lawyer. If you want to be a doctor, then talk to a doctor, so that you will be given a bird's eye view on what the profession is. And personally, no, makikita mo doon kung suited ka na doon sa job. If you can do what the doctor is currently doing, or you can do what the lawyer is doing, then I think you will be able to make a good analysis of it. Having those initial concepts in mind, okay, so I go to the main, no? Kailangan kong i-promote yung aking profession para baka makonsider nyo in choosing it, okay? So, I come up with 10 reasons, no, why you can choose a career in law. Of course, you know the legal profession, no, the law. There is a requirement first so that you will be able to study law. So, kailangan graduate ka ng 4-year course. So, you call it the pre-law course. So, the pre-law course can be any course for that matter. As long as after you have obtained that 4-year course, or you graduated from the 4-year course, then you take another 4 years for the law course, and then pass the bar exams, no? So that you can be a lawyer. Now, first, there are so many legal career options. No? Marami kang pwedeng puntahan pag nag-aral ka ng law, no? Hindi ka lang magiging lawyer. So, pwede kang maging judge, pwede kang maging prosecutor, pwede kang maging teacher, who teaches law subjects. So, pwede kang maging corporate lawyer, magtatrabaho ka sa mga big corporations. Pwede kang maging criminal lawyer, engage in litigation, yung nag-a-appear sa court, as counselors for the complainant or the accused. So, pwede kang maging legal consultants ng mga firms, ano? So, marami kang pwedeng puntahan na profession or options or areas sa law. Then, there is growth and opportunity. Pag nag-aaral ka kasi ng batas or pag lawyer ka na, continuing, no, yung legal education mo. So, there is so much growth, no? There is so much opportunity for you to be able, no, to go into different areas of success, no? And then, the financial rewards also. There are financial rewards, of course. Since the legal profession has many, no, areas na pwede mong maging career, then there is so much also financial rewards, you know. So, it is also a lucrative business, although, of course, the legal profession is not a business in itself, you know. It is a profession. Then, you render client service. Ito, no? This is one of the joyous, you know, rewards of becoming a lawyer when you are able to help, no, your client rights, or you were able to defend yung mga rights ng kliyente mo, or naging successful yung isang kaso ninyo, na matagal na may utang na sa iyo itong taong to, and you were able to collect, or meron kayong property na deprive sa inyo, yung karapatan nyo, and then you were able to recover it for your client. You know, that's actually the reward you get as a lawyer, no? The success of your case, and that you were able, no, to give the right to your client which has been taken away from him or from her. So, usually dyan, kung minsan, client, nakakatuwa na hindi naman yung pera mo or yung appearance fee ang ibibigay sa'yo, pero yung bibigyan ka ng gulay nila, yung mga tinanim nila from their backyards, or bibigyan ka nila ng tinitinda nila, ng pagkain, or they'll send you some notes, or they'll send you some small tokens of appreciation. That is the most rewarding, no, instance, no, in the life of a lawyer. Then also, of course, you have to consider also yung mga intellectual challenges. When you are a lawyer, you have to read often, no? You have to be informed of new laws and ever-changing yung mga systems, yung mga processes. So, umaandar palagi yung utak mo actually, no? And of course, this will really educate you, no? Hindi mababakante yung utak mo, pero hindi naman mapapagod yung utak mo because you can still have a choice, no, to rest sometimes if you're already mentally exhausted. So, there are also many areas to practice. So you can practice criminal law, you can practice labor law, you can practice commercial law, you can practice corporate law, you can practice commercial law, you can practice political law, so you can even teach, you can even be a medical legal if you are a doctor and you study law also, and then many practice areas in the profession, you know? And then of course there's also prosperity. Remember, even if there is economic crisis, no, or global crisis, no, lawyers are also are needed, no, in order to address some concerns, especially of big companies, and also because globally, you know, you can also practice as long as you are you have studied further, no, kasi bawat bansa iba-iba yung batas. So it is, no, lawyers are also are needed, no, in order to address some concerns, especially of big companies, and also because globally, you know, you can also practice as long as you are you have studied further, no, kasi bawat bansa iba-iba yung batas. So if you are a lawyer here in the Philippines at gusto mo mag-practice abroad or wherever, no, you just have to study the law of that country and be able to pass whatever exams is required of you there. And then of course, the prestige also, if syempre pag ATTY ka, medyo nandyan yung prestige, no, yung courtesy ng public, ng ibang tao. But of course, as a lawyer, you have to protect it also, no? Kailangan i-safeguard mo din yung pangalan mo as a lawyer. Although as a profession, no, it is looked upon, no, tinitingnan ka rin ng publiko dahil hindi po basta-basta maging lawyer, no? And then of course, in order for you to have a successful law career, or kung papunta ka doon, ano, dun sa choosing the law career, you should have self-confidence and resilience, no? So pag sinabi mong self-confidence and resilience, ito yung kailangan meron kang self-confidence, no, to in your own abilities, in your own capacities, no, so that you stand out from the rest, you know. So you must also have the confidence to seek and act upon feedback. So hindi ka pwedeng pusong mamon. Kung may feedback sa iyo, you have to take it constructively for you to be successful, you know? And then you can also develop your skills by being resilient, no? So second, you have to have no initiative also. even if sometimes you work with a team, no, you must show yung initiative mo and independence mo so that you can make quick decisions. No? And of course, this is the most important thing, the ability to work under pressure. When you choose the law profession, no, and you study law, you must have the ability to study under pressure. No? So you should manage, you should have a good time management so that you can manage heavy workloads. You can read many cases or many academic insights or books, and of course you have also to beat deadlines, no? And of course you should come up with an output, no, that will have a lasting impact on the lives of your clients. So with that, I thank you for listening, and I hope I was able to share something for you to think upon, to consider. Good luck, and God bless us all. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney Myla of Batch 1981. Our last couple of speakers will focus more on the Hume strand specifically. First is an alumna from Batch 1971, Ms. Tess Dizon Martinez. She graduated as their batch salutatorian and pursued education as her career. Let us hear from Ms. Tess.